How Tupac and XXXTentacion are very similar. After the passing of controversial rapper X, social media users have taken to Twitter to draw similarities between him and the late rapper Tupac Shakur. According to them, X was the Tupac of this generation. So today we are going to take a look at how Tupac and X compare. Some of the similarities are pretty shocking, so be sure to watch this entire video as you are not going to want to miss out on what we have for you all today. Also, leave a like and subscribe to the channel to never miss a single upload. Starting off our list today, one of the more subtle but interesting similarities is that both these rappers had their lives taken from them inside of BMWs. Tupac was hit 4 times on the night of September 7, 1996, and he died 6 days later at the University Medical Center in Las Vegas. When Tupac was shot, he was in his black BMW 7 Series. X was also taken away from us in his BMW. While this similarity isn't about their personalities, it does bring up some theories. It may be a coincidence, but people are starting to link these similarities as a secret message from X. He possibly wanted to leave the legacy that he was like Tupac of these days, and that's why he had a BMW. Some people even say that X planned all of this and that he's still alive, just pulling off a major stunt. So what do you all think about it? Do you think X was trying to say something to us? Or was it strange coincidence? It's definitely something to take note of, as it seems a little too fishy to be true. Either way, let us know what you think about this topic. And make sure to continue watching this video, as we are going to uncover even more secrets about X's passing that relate almost too close to Tupac's. You are not going to want to miss out. Another similarity between the two is that Tupac was in his 20s when he was shot, and so was X. Love X or hate him, it's safe to say that he had his life taken away way too young. Sure, he did have a controversial past, but he was trying to change for the better. Having just turned 20, this was very devastating. This leads us to a theory once again about whether or not X planned this all out, or if he possibly faked it as a publicity stunt. It may be a crazy coincidence or something deeper. This is just one of the many almost scary similarities between X and Tupac. While many rappers are young, they tend to continue their career into their late 30s or even 40s. Obviously, most rappers are in their 20s, but this is a coincidence that we had to point out. His ex-manager said so. Being a manager means that you're very close to the artists themselves. So coming from X's former manager, this definitely plays a role in the similarities between X and Tupac. X, without an ounce of doubt, will be remembered as this generation's Tupac, and anyone who disagrees can kick rocks. So says X's former manager, Adam Grand Mason. TMZ caught up with the 20-year-old's former manager, Adam Grand Mason, outside of his store Wednesday afternoon, June 21st, where Grand Mason boldly compared X's career and impact to Tupac Shakur. Hell yeah, he said, and to anybody who think that's short-sighted or that X wasn't big enough to be compared to Tupac, I mean, I was a 13-year-old crying when Tupac died, so I remember what it was like when Tupac was around. I feel like X in a lot of ways. He didn't get to have the career that Tupac had, but the ways he impacted people was completely on the same level in my opinion. Grand Mason says X's death will not be the end of his cultural impact. I think that we're not going to stop hearing about this kid, pretty confidently, for another 20 years from now. We're still going to be talking about him, so I mean, aside from maybe getting to live a longer life, that's probably the number one thing he wanted out of his career, was to impact as many people. Tupac had a similar idea, and sure enough, we still remember his legacy 20 years later. So coming from the manager himself, X has been compared to Tupac by many big names in the industry. Dame Dash. Though it will be a few years before we know the answer, Dame Dash, another big figure in the music world, is already convinced that X's legacy will be just as influential as Tupac's and Biggie's. The music mogul spoke about the rapper's untimely death in a recent interview with allhiphop.com. He also addressed the violence within the rap scene, claiming it has become noticeably worse in recent years. You know, the sad thing about it is, the last couple of days I was like, yo, hip-hop is going through that phase. He said, in my generation it kind of got violent, then Biggie and Pac died and it kind of calmed down. And then I remember Wiz's generation. I liked it because it was like other parts of the country were working together, like Currency and Smoke DZA. It's just funny how things go in cycles, and you could just feel it. Actually, I got it on tape. I was like, yo, it don't feel right. It's going to make somebody to get killed for everybody to cool out. And it's sad that it was him. but he's definitely going to be looked at from this 15 to 25-year-old generation as Tupac and Biggie. Dame went on to say that X would be remembered in a favorable light, just as he wanted. Dame also said the rapper will eventually become the subject of multiple movies, as his life and death were fitting reflections of the younger generation's outlook. Once again, Dame has proven the similarities between X's and Tupac's legacies, and how the two are very similar. They have both been called out for faking their deaths. It's hard to mourn the loss of a great person, especially someone who is trying to change for the better and who impacted the lives of many people. However, fans have drawn some conclusions that X may not be gone as we know it. This includes his latest music video, which shows him at his own funeral. Interestingly, this music video was released one day after X's open funeral in Florida. Strange, huh? One Twitter thread that has been widely shared points to a previous publicity stunt that saw X appear to fake his own passing, before revealing that it was for a subsequent music video. People believe that he may be doing the same thing in order to hype up his name for the next song or music video. The Twitter user @VasinVane suggests that the star either faked his own death due to the amount of conspiracy in his life along with the overwhelming fame, or to promote a new single possibly called No Pulse. There's no evidence that X had a single coming by that name. Another reason people think the rapper is still alive is because he made a live Instagram video earlier this year, predicting the whole incident. X said, "If I'm going to die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy, or they found some sort of answers or resolve in my life. Regardless of the negative around my name, regardless of the bad things people say to me." Similarly, Tupac has many fans who speculated that his passing may have been fake. Some even say they've spotted Tupac in Cuba, hiding his identity. As the weeks go by, we still have theories about X's passing, and how it may be fake, which may last a lifetime such as Tupac's did. However, since the internet is so quick to spread information, it's not a surprise that many people have hopped on the train of believing X is alive. They both had similar messages they wanted to spread. "My mother was pregnant with me while she was in prison in 1971, and a mother after she got out of prison. She gave birth to me, so I was cultivated in prison. My embryo was in prison," reflected Tupac Shakur during a 1995 interview. He experienced worldly trauma firsthand before he was a teenager. It was inevitable that he would grow up to be a revolutionary leader. During his short time here, he was adamant about dropping nuggets of wisdom on his peers. The wisdom he shared in the mid-90s is still effective today. Just like Pac, X shared many positive messages to the world, which can be compared to what Tupac said. X issued a warm, positive message to all of his fans on Monday, October 9th. The rising hip-hop star urged listeners to wake up with a purpose, pointing out various ways purpose can be fulfilled. Whether it be something small, whether it be something that is only ideal to you, as long as you wake up with a purpose, you will be in positive energy today. X continued to expand on what he meant by purpose, stating it could be something as simple as feeding a homeless person, or walking up to some random person and telling them that they're going to have a great day. In order to get a blessing, you have to be a blessing. This was one of X's biggest impacts he had on the world, and in fact changed the lives of many people. Tupac did the same thing with how he spreads the words. They both predicted what was coming. Another really interesting and almost scary theory that many people have come up with is that both X and Tupac predicted their passings. Tupac's last studio album was recorded under the alias Machiavelli and called the Don Illuminati, the Seventh Day Theory. Fans obsessed over hidden messages in the album they believe predicted Tupac's death. His stage name is a nod to Niccolo Machiavelli, the Italian thinker who conspiracy theorists believe wrote about faking his own death. The album's artwork features the rapper mounted to a cross like Jesus, who is believed in Christianity to have been murdered and resurrected in 7 days. The title could hint at his involvement in the so-called secret society of the Illuminati. As to X, he once predicted his passing in the Instagram live video we covered earlier, but also more recently in his music video to the song Sad.
Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know, yeah. I'm sad, I know, yeah.
X's family held an open casket memorial for the late rapper on Wednesday, and then later that day they released the music video for his chart-topping single, Sad. The single is currently at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 chart and the streaming chart. The album is also back in the top 10 of the 200 chart. The clip showcases X looking at his own body lying in a casket, but then the body jumps out of the casket and starts fighting him. The video was obviously filmed before his passing, and it's quite weird that it would drop right after this incident. Therefore, we can conclude that X possibly predicted his own passing, such as Tupac did. Hero or villain? X and Tupac both had similar lives, which led to their legacies. Tupac Shakur's 1993 arrest for sexual abuse and sodomy, he would serve 9 months at Clinton Correctional Facility starting on February 14, 1995, and was released on appeal October 12, 1995, is quite similar to X's allegations for what he did to his girlfriend. However, shortly after each of these rappers had done wrong, they both went on to change themselves and the people around them. But this doesn't erase all the bad things each of them did. Some believe Tupac was a bad guy, and some good. Same goes for X. Hero or villain, the two are similar in this area.
Just another reminder to enter the iPhone 10 giveaway we have going on. All you guys need to do is subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a like, and comment the hidden message in the video.